All right, guys, want to talk about this stuff. It's literal gold. It says Worm Gold Plus. This is worm castings and mycorrhiza and kelp. It has a couple of things mixed in it, but you can use this only if you want to try to do just some natural fertilization. Well, you'll probably, depending, but this is a great additive to soil. Like, if you can, however much of this you can afford, I would be putting this in with your soil. It doesn't cause any root rotting issues or anything of that nature. I'm always like harping about not putting things that break down in your soil and this stuff. It's worm castings, guys. This is completely natural. And the thing about this is Star Nursery every year so far, in the beginning of spring-ish, they will have a sale on this stuff. So I'll buy a few bags of this and I'm gonna start making a mixture of things to start feeding. Start feeding as early as like January. I start trying to wake things up a little bit. Start giving them just one round of worm castings. And generally, what I do is I feed, because I do things in pots, once every month or so. And then once things pick up, it depends. This stuff does break down though. It's food, so it doesn't stay. It's not like that. So this plus that soil I make, super nutrient. Based on the plant or the tree, I'll generally make a mix. Like with the bananas, they get just straight food. But this is what I'm kind of looking at. I got my little storage box here. So in the first round of feeding, things are probably going to be depleted on nutrients a little bit. I'm just wanting to wake up, so I'll probably mix some super iron in there. Maybe I'll make a mixture of that and some long bite for health to get things started, or maybe new plantings. And then the things that I want to add some growth to and just to start getting things going, maybe I'll add some of the specific fertilizers for it. So like these citruses and the citratones. It's Job's, it's organic. So if I'm trying to do something organic, this is the fertilizer I'll use for that. And guys, let me tell you, when I first added this stuff, I wasn't following the directions. Looking at the directions, you add so much of this, it's crazy. Way more food to plant ratio than I ever thought. So make sure you read the directions. But this is just some of the information on here. So if I realistically, any one of my plants or trees, if I wanted them to be just organic, it'd be this mixed with worm castings. You're set. I just like to get more specialized. Have some desert ones. We have a high of 10 for rooting. New plants get the mycorrhiza. I really just make a cocktail based on what it is. And then like on the second month, when I want things to flower, I'll make a specific mixture just for that. And the idea is some of the things I've showed you about making worm compost and all that stuff. I don't want to have to buy something every year. Eventually the idea is you'll work your way into a spot where you're not doing that anymore. All right, and this is what we're looking like. So right now we're just going to give them some of this. 999. What happens is directly in spring, most of my things, they've used up a lot of that energy. They need some nutrients. I might also give them some of this chicken manure, and all this stuff is going on top, right? So I'm going to make a mixture with that. And then worm castings. Get yourself a barrel or bucket, mix these in, make a nice amount, and then start spreading it around on the garden. They start waking up. When you wake up, they're hungry. It's like after taking a nap, you wake up in the morning, you want some breakfast. Now you could just apply these separately if you want. I just like to make a mixture and evenly get it to everybody. Happy plants, happy life. I mostly try to do things organic. There are some plants that are just strictly organic, and some I'll get a mixture going. And I'm also gonna go get some mulch. I generally just apply this over the mulch. The mulch breaks down and then add another layer. There are just so many different options, you guys. Based on the needs of that specific plant or tree, it's what you can give them. Leave me a comment. Let's talk about it. Let's grow.